guys, welcome to my plank tutorial. First short little video on some of the foundational exercises that I did promise you. We are going to be dealing with the plank first today. So just a couple things that I want to talk a little bit about. I want to make sure that we are all on the same page when we are doing the basic plank. And then once you've mastered that, from there, when we do start advancing the movement, you know, once you feel comfortable with the basic version, you can easily then transition into the more advanced versions because there are limitless options. The first thing that I wanted to talk to you about were hips. Hips are a big problem in the plank, specifically hanging hips. Oftentimes what happens is the hips tend to do that or do that. What you want to do is avoid the hanging hips at all costs. What's happening there is the lower back muscles are being asked to do more work than they should be doing, and the anterior core, the front body, is basically not doing anything at all. So we want the core, so front body and back body, we want the full core to be working in unison. So you want to kind of think about the lower back has got that natural curve to it. You want to think about hollowing that out. So it's a posterior pelvic tilt. So when you are getting into your plank, you're going to, your hips are here, just try to think about hollowing out that low spine. So we're not hanging, we're not popping the hips up, we are just having a nice strong line in the spine. Pretty tough to do, excuse me, which is why you're seeing a lot of these plank challenges out there right now. You know, a lot of times people can hold the plank forever. Oftentimes you're going to see a lot of people not holding good form when they're holding an incredibly long plank. So you want to be a little bit mindful of, you know, diving into challenges like that. You want to just sort of stay nice and safe on your plank form. Make sure the hips are at about the height of the shoulders, or they can even be slightly lower. That's fine too. Another thing that we always want to watch out for is the elbows flaring. A lot of times, and I know I've caught myself doing this countless times, we tend to lace the fingers and hold the hands. What that encourages is the flaring of elbows. What that encourages is that internal rotation that we're all experiencing. We're having problems with that internal rotation on our phones, computers, driving, just sitting in general. Whatever is causing it, it's when you're doing the plank and you're bringing your hands together or your elbows are flaring out, that is encouraging it. And what we don't want to do is we do not want to train the weaknesses in the body. We want to start celebrating the strengths. We want to train the body into the strengths. And oftentimes that's not where it's comfortable. So you want to, when you're lining your plank up as far as the arms are concerned, your elbows are going to stack directly down from the shoulders. Shoulder joint is stacked right on top of the elbow. Forearms are firmly planted into the ground. I make a tight fist. What that does is it just encourages kind of tension throughout the whole body. And I press my forearms down into the ground. And what that does is it kind of lifts my chest up and away slightly from the floor. And what that also does is it helps keep my upper back in the proper position that it should be in the plank. Breathing, don't hold your breath. You do see some schools of thought where they encourage holding your breath when you're doing these isometric movements, these holds. Don't do that. We need you to breathe. What I always encourage is just try to breathe naturally. Shallow breathing is also not good. You want to try to breathe into the belly. Typically, we breathe into the throat, not great. You want to have nice, natural, deep breathing right into the belly and keep it as natural as possible when you're in the plank. You gotta feed those muscles. Leg bending when you're doing the plank seems like a real nitpicky little detail, and not necessarily going to hurt yourself doing that, but bending the legs during the plank is the body's way of making it a little bit easier. And what it also does is it encourages the full body. It's kind of got this global effect on the full body to encourage relaxation of all those muscles. And this is a position where the body is under tension. So we need everything to be fired up. We want to really pay attention that we're connecting that entire chain. The entire body is linked in on this one. So bending those legs, even widening the stance. Nothing wrong with it. It's going to be easier, but we want to kind of encourage doing a nice full intact plank and getting used to that version of it. Hanging the head. Typically you'll see a lot of people, especially in those long plank hold challenges that I was talking about, the head gets heavy, the neck gets tired. We don't want to hang the head. We want to keep that neck in its neutral position. So that means not hanging and not cranking, not goosenecking. Typically what I just say is look at the space in between the hands. So that's going to pretty much keep that neck in its neutral position and keep everything nice and safe. Basically what you want to think about when you're doing the plank, these seem like a lot of points. They're all very connected. When one happens, it does tend to, encourage the others to happen. You want to think of a nice, long and tall spine when you're doing this. So don't shrug the shoulders, don't hunch. The upper back is typically pretty strong on people. And when we shrug the shoulders specifically or hunch, we're not asking that mid back to kick in and do its work. And that's very important that it does the work in the plank. We want that entire chain working together. So as we go through the workouts, trust me, you'll get tired of hearing me throwing out some of these reminders. So it's not like you have to, when we're doing these tutorials, don't worry, you don't have to remember any of this. But I do want you to be able to come back, tap into it, and just have these little reminders to reflect on, to practice. This is one that, this is a movement where you can do in front of your TV very easily, but you'll want to get into the habit of training the body in very good form. So by all means, use these tutorials that we're going to be sending your way to practice. I encourage you to do that. So that's it for the plank. Join me on my other videos. Don't forget, hit that red subscribe button, guys. That will give you notifications of any of the new videos coming up, and there will be many. There will be several of these short tutorials, like I said, some on the squat, lunges, all kinds of different things. And down the road, if you have any requests where you'd like me to address any questions or anything about any other exercises, you'd like a short little lowdown on that, let me know. But yeah, hit subscribe, and I'm looking forward to getting started.